So you've got your Facebook and Instagram ads running, you've been generating sales, but how's your email marketing going? And do you have the automation set up in your email management system that will follow people up automatically if they abandon their cart or if they abandon their checkout before they complete their purchase? Now, you can follow up people with retargeting ads in Facebook, and you should be doing that. But not everyone's going to see those ads. So I think it's important that you take advantage of any opportunity that you've got to be able to follow up people and just remind them if they've abandoned their cart or abandoned their checkout. Now, a lot of the training that I've seen with regards to creating the emails for abandoned cart or abandoned checkout really just focuses on the abandoned checkout side of things. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how we set things up for our clients so that we are looking at two different events, which is abandoned cart and also abandoned checkout, and how you can create two separate flows that contain the same emails, but make sure that people don't get the same email more than once if they move from just abandoning their cart to abandoning their checkout. So let's get into it. Hello, my name is Rod. Thanks for joining me on the channel today on YouTube or on the podcast. I'm the founder of Rod Blaine Agency, and we help people with three main things, which is their Facebook and Instagram advertising, their email marketing automations, and we help people with optimizing their websites for conversions. So in today's video, we're just going to be focusing on a particular aspect of email, which is the one thing, if you're going to have anything set up in your email, you should have a sequence or a flow set up that follows up people when they abandon their cart or they abandon the checkout and don't proceed to purchase. It's going to be a fairly broad overview because there's plenty of more detailed training out there, but not much of the training that I've seen talks about how to set up both an abandoned cart and abandoned checkout flow without too much complication and without people ending up receiving the same email twice from each flow. So let's jump on the computer. Now, this should apply to pretty much any e-commerce platform, whether you're using Post, also known as Neto, whether you're using WooCommerce or Shopify or Magento or BigCommerce. There should always be two different events that you can set up your flow to be triggered by. This is an example from Neto Post. The trigger for this is added product to cart. So we'll call this the abandoned cart flow. And we've also got an abandoned checkout flow. And the trigger for that is when someone started checkout. So I'm not going to show you what's going to be in each of the emails because there's loads of other training for that. But what I do want to show you is what we do so that you can simply set up your abandoned cart flow and then you can duplicate that into your abandoned checkout flow. And then you can set things up so that people don't end up getting the same email twice if they end up being in each flow. So what we do is we have the trigger here, which is someone added product to cart. And there's the usual flow filters that most of the training material I've seen would have. So they haven't been in the flow in the last 30 days. You might want to set that to 21 or 14 days. They haven't ordered any products since starting the flow. They're not in your exit intent lists and they've started checkout 0 times since starting the flow. So if all those conditions are true, then after 1 hour, we send people this first email here. And then what we do is we update a profile property that's called abandoned cart step 1. It's a Boolean property and we set it as true. And then we wait 23 hours. All of the same filters get evaluated again. We send a follow-up email. Then we update a new profile property, which is abandoned cart step 2, set that as true. Then we wait 1 day. And then we've got our third or fourth email, depending on how you've got your flow set up. So why do we use these profile property updates? Well, we do that because I want to use the same emails in the abandoned checkout flow, but I don't want people to receive the same email twice. Okay, so let's say somebody abandons their cart and they get the first email, so their profile property is updated. And then in the meantime, they've now proceeded to checkout. What's happened is they've failed this condition here, which is started checkout. So they get dropped out of the flow. And because they've started checkout, they now enter this flow. If we don't have any sort of additional filter, then they could be sent this email again, which is the same email that we had in our abandoned cart flow. So what we do is we add in an additional filter on this email and we check for this property, abandoned cart step 1. So if somebody has already received that email, they will have abandoned cart step 1 set up to be true. So this email gets skipped and then we wait in the queue and then we go to the second email and the same thing gets applied here. On this email, we're also using the same kind of filter, except for we're checking for abandoned cart step 2 and then On the third email, we're doing the same thing. We're checking for abandoned cart step 3. And that's how we configure it. So that's it for today's video. I just wanted to give you a broad overview of how to set up the 2 different flows in Klaviyo for abandoned cart and abandoned checkout so that you can duplicate the emails that are in each flow, but make sure that people don't receive the same email twice if they move from just abandoning their cart to actually getting into the checkout and abandoning that as well. So I hope you found this video useful today. If you did, please go ahead and hit the like button and click subscribe. I really appreciate that. And if you do need any help with your email automations for your business or your Facebook and Instagram ads, or with improving your website conversion rates, and you'd like to have a chat to somebody about that, there'll be a link in the video description below. You can book a time in my calendar. We can have a chat about what you'd like to do in your business, how things work with us, and who knows, we may end up working together at some point in the future. That's all for today. Thanks for joining me on the channel or on the podcast, and I'll see you in the next one.